Hey guys, what is up? It's your girl. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about angel numbers and what they mean and how you can use it in order to manifest better. So if you're new to my channel, be sure to like and subscribe because I make a lot of different types of videos. And right now I feel like I'm just pumping out a lot of manifestation content. So let's get right into it. So I'm pretty sure if you are a spiritual person, if you know about spirituality at all, or if you're born like 20 years ago, then for sure you're going to be seeing angel numbers a lot, right? And it can be like 111, 222, 333, whatever. And we often go online to look up what angel numbers mean. And immediately once you go to Google Images, you'll see, oh, 111 means you're guided by the angels, or you have a higher calling, or there's going to be a big ending coming soon, or you have to listen to your intuition. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. And it's almost as if the internet does not have one concrete answer about what it means. And I'm here to tell you that that's true. Excuse me. There is not one true meaning. The thing that really pisses me off is when people go, oh, I saw 111 and I Googled it and it means this. And they apply that for everyone that sees 111, and they apply it for every single time that they see 111 just because something on the internet told them so. And that's also why I don't like astrology, because I don't believe that there's always one definitive answer for a specific combination of numbers or symbols. I think it really comes down to you and how you interpret things and how you see patterns happen in your life. So let's say that you are seeing angel numbers. What does that mean? So for me personally, I didn't ask to be spiritual. I didn't ask for any of this stuff. My parents definitely tried to raise me with a very spiritual upbringing, hence the things you see behind me. And I always kind of accepted it kind of openly. Like, I love the story of Jesus. I love the story of the Buddha. I love the story of Krishna and Vishnu. And a lot of these leaders, you could say back then, right? And their spiritual teachings and their lives. Obviously, the mechanics of it didn't make sense to me as a kid, but now when I'm older, I can understand how things kind of piece together. I had a lot of other things that happened when I was younger that make me look back and realize like, oh, that was all part of this story leading up to me becoming who I am now, which is a very spiritual person. And when I was 19, I met my catalyst, and since then I had the worst ego death ever. My consciousness, it was just going crazy. I would see signs all the time. I would see angel numbers like crazy all the time. In a future video, I'm going to show you how this one summer I got my dream job, and in my notebook that I used for work, I'd write down all the angel numbers that I'd see while working. And like every single page had like 3 to 4 angel numbers every single day. And that was just what I saw when I was at work. After work, when I'm going out and everything, was just everywhere, constantly in my face. And I remember very specifically the first time I ever saw an angel number. It was when I'd already become a tarot reader, and I had already known that there are people that are crazy about angel numbers. And I always thought that it was kind of a stupid thing. Like, you know how people are like, oh, what's your sign? Oh, you're a Taurus. Oh, Taurus people are like this. Like, I just kind of thought it was another like trend that people were creating around like seeing numbers. I didn't really understand it. And I remember one morning I was getting ready to go to a job fair when I was in college, and I remember like calling my friend, and I looked at the time when we were calling and it was 11 a.m. and I remember thinking to myself like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. That's for stupid people. I'm not doing that. And then I went ahead and I made my breakfast, my lunch, I got my resume together, and I was getting really late. And I'm pretty sure like the career fair started at like 1 or something. And I looked at my phone right before I was like heading out of my dorm, and the time was 1:11 p.m. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to be part of this. I do not sign to this belief. Like, I'm not going to be one of those crazy spiritual people. And when I got to the career fair, this is a whole other story, but I just think it's important for me to tell it. But I'm in the line to like go into the building to talk to representatives from this company. And I remember being in line and I was like, what are they even hiring for? And I talked to somebody that was from the company kind of facilitating the line, and they told me like, oh, there's this thing called like systems engineering. Is that something that is of interest to you? Like, it's not mechanical engineering, it's not electrical engineering. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, I might be interested in that. And so I pulled up my phone. Like, I have my folder here with like my resume on it, and then in my other hand I have my phone, and I'm like googling like, what is systems engineering. I was looking at the Wikipedia page, all the very like shortened definitions of it, and I was like, I could see myself doing this. And the whole time I was in line to speak to the hiring manager, I was just like reading off as much as I could about what systems engineering was, so that when I got to the front of the line to speak to the hiring manager, I would be able to say like, hey, my name is da da da, this is my resume, and like, here's why I'm a good fit for this job. I hear everyone in front of me in line talking about how they are industrial engineers and they already have hands-on experience using the software that they'd be using at this particular job. And all this is stuff that I've never ever heard of before. Like, ever. I've never heard about this stuff before. And I get to the front of the line and I see like on the table in front of the hiring manager, there's like this piece of paper that says Denver. And so in my mind, I'm like, oh, they're hiring for Denver, California. I live in California. And I'm speaking to the hiring manager and I'm just going off my resume and like my work experience and everything. And he's about to put my resume in like the no pile. And then all of a sudden I start prattling off about this one project that I did. And he immediately perks up, looks at me, asks me like one or two more questions. And then he's like, come with me. And we leave the line. We, like, everyone else is like in line behind me, right? Like going all the way to the door. Me and the hiring manager walk off to another part of the room where there's some ladies working on their computer, and he walks over and he's like, we just got another one. And they're like, yay. And they pulled a packet together and they gave it to me and they said, congratulations, you're going to Denver, Colorado. And I was like, what do you mean Denver, Colorado? Because my dumbass thought this was hiring for Denver, California. Probably shouldn't call myself a dumbass, but like, I didn't think that they'd be hiring like out of state, right? And that was it. All I had to do was take a drug test because this was a like a government job that cares. And that was it. I was supposed to move to Denver that summer, and that was my first internship ever. I'm not gonna say the company name, but it was a dream come true, being able to have that opportunity. And my boss was the best boss ever. So kind, so sweet, gave me so much praise. I got to work on the first rocket ship that was going to take a female astronaut to the moon. And if that's not big enough, like, I don't know what else is. So I got to do that very early on in my college career. And that was my first internship ever. And sure, that name itself on my resume opened up a lot of doors for me, but I gained a lot of confidence at that job. It opened up a lot of like connections for me, and I met some of the most kindest, open-hearted people ever. So that was my story of the first time I ever saw angel numbers, and it's such a vivid, special story. More so because later at the end of my internship, which had been extended for over a year and stuff, and I was working through a school, my boss told me, I hired you based off of a gut instinct, and I'm so glad that I made that decision because you have been spectacular. I don't know what's a better story than that. Okay, so now moving on to what angel numbers mean. So for me, I guess I see all the angel numbers like while I'm driving and going about my day. I ignore all of them. At this point, like, it's been, I want to say like 7 years. I don't care anymore. I see 1111 a lot. I see 111 a lot, and I feel like those are my numbers. Now, what do angel numbers mean? When you shift internally to a state where you are being more receptive to your higher self, aka you're letting go of the conscious mind, even if it's a little bit by little bit. When you're doing that, you're entering what feels like the flow state. Things flow to you more easily. You feel like doors just open for you. Like in my story, my hiring manager hired me when I had no experience, no like educational qualifications for it. He hired me off of gut instinct, and they were supposed to pay for everything. I just didn't. I'm going to Denver because like My parents didn't want me traveling during COVID. But what I'm saying is, like, all these amazing, very opportune moments happen. Soulmates enter your life if you're into that kind of stuff. All these like soul matching opportunities enter your life. And the only way I can explain it is that when you're truly aligned with your soul, everything that's like meant for you, the body hosting the soul, is happening. So like all my desires are being met, everything just flows a lot better. That is my definition for it, because I see angel numbers whenever I'm in the flow state and I'm in the zone that I'm describing to you. Perhaps angel numbers can mean something completely different for you, but overall, I think my answer is correct, because when I observe my friends' lives who are new to this and they're also seeing angel numbers, I don't try to tell them how this works. Like, I believe that everyone is welcome to make their own, come to their own conclusions about patterns in their life, especially when they're spiritual. But I noticed that my friends see signs and angel numbers whenever they're going out and doing things, like specifically choosing to be in a state. I just saw 1111, choosing to be in a state in which they're aligning with their soul. So for example, like, I'm not going to be seeing angel numbers when I'm texting and spending time with people that aren't really worth my time. Like, sure, they feel great to talk to, but I know I'm not feeling like super inspired here on a soul level. I'm not going to see angel numbers when I am super caught up in negative thinking and not breaking out of it. The moment I do break out of it and I start telling myself, nah, like, I got this, I'm going to rise above my circumstances, I'm going to like defeat my enemy, so-called enemy, I immediately see an angel number. So my recommendation for you, if you are not sure what your angel numbers are trying to say, just sit down and meditate. I have plenty of videos on that already, so be sure to go to my channel and scroll through and see how to meditate, how to focus on your breath, and allow your mind to kind of just be free, settle down. And the moment you start like allowing your mind to just do what it's doing and take a step back and be the observer, immediately you're in your soul energy, because the soul is what is always watching the mind, and you are the soul. You are the constant watcher. You are the awareness. You are not the conscious thinker, but the one that is conscious of the thinking. So if you'd like more information, please comment down below. Thank you for watching this video. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, like this video, and share it with others. If you have any questions, please comment them down below. And if you watched till the end, thank you so much for your patronage online. I am thinking of opening up coaching, so please keep an eye open for that if you want to work with me as my student. I love you guys very much. Bye-bye.